Happy Hanabi return. Sean spoke Terry Fator, the man behind one of the Vegas Strip's most famous acts, this week. He introduced Sean to a major show edition. Check it out. Heartbreaking, terrible. Performer Terry Fator's life. He had all. Fame, fortune, and Vegas sellouts. Terry Fator suffered grief and tragedy beneath the laughter and applause. Taylor, Terry Fator. Her name is Emma Taylor. I am a vocalist. Yes, she sings. She imitates female singers. Can you toss another a cappella? Yes, I can. Wanna do who? Ashley Simpson. Poor Ashley Simpson. All right. Okay. Copy Ashley Simpson. Okay, how? This acclaimed artist went from church picnic performer to multi-millionaire headliner. How? How did his first wife's control nearly ruin his career? Did his management force him to make offensive jokes to stay relevant? The horrifying truth about Terry Fator's roller coaster journey is coming. Dallas-born Terry Fator was a ventriloquist. Texas, June 10, 1965. He was normal until he discovered Basta's love in 5th grade. On Valentine's Day, he was looking for a school assignment book. Then he found a ventriloquism book. Ventriloquism for Profit and Fun. Terry read the book at home to learn about this unusual skill. He even bought a Sears ventriloquist dummy named Willie Talk to go with him. Terry practiced. He soon received $125 for a church picnic performance. Terry attended Liberty University in Virginia after high school. Ventriloquism remained his passion despite his schooling. It was part of him and would lead him fame and prosperity. Terry got his first ventriloquist dummy at 10. This gift started a lifelong obsession. Family and friends were Terry's initial audience for hours of practice. He loves making people laugh and trying different celebrity impersonation. Terry's mother worked hard to support his dream, seeing his enthusiasm and talent. She saved for 3 years to buy him a professional puppet at 18. Terry, K., treasured the puppet as a sign of his mother's love and support. Terry's talents improved with his new puppet. He found a novel approach to practice impressions while driving. I'd see other people singing in the car and they looked goofy, Terry recalls, so I'd do it without moving my lips. This unusual practice allowed Terry to perfect his ventriloquism and impression skills at the same time, struggles and hope. In 1987, Terry Fator's career took an exciting turn. He joined a band called Freedom Jam as their lead singer. This was a big opportunity for him to showcase his talents on a larger stage. With Young American Showcase producing their tours, Terry and the band traveled across the United States and Canada, performing at over 200 high schools and middle schools. It was a whirlwind experience with an average of 3 performances packed into each school day. Terry's passion for ventriloquism didn't fade during this time. In fact, he found a way to incorporate his puppetry skills into his performance. Midway through 1988, Terry transitioned to become the lead singer for another show band called Texas the Band. With this band, he introduced his puppet, Walter T. Airedale, to the stage. Adding a unique element to their shows, the band's future seemed bright with plans to sign with a major record label. However, fate had a different plan in store for Terry. During a meeting with a representative from the record label, Terry showcased his signature style of singing songs by impersonating the original vocalists. The representative was impressed, but requested that Terry sing in his own voice instead. This was a turning point for Terry as he realized that his true calling lay in ventriloquism and impressions, not just singing in his own voice. Leaving the band behind, Terry embarked on a solo career that blended comedy and ventriloquism. However, the road to success was far from easy. For several years, Terry faced numerous challenges and setbacks. He found himself performing at fairs, often under the scorching sun, even suffering heat stroke during sweltering afternoons. One particularly disheartening experience occurred when he booked a show at a 1,000-seat theater only to discover a single person in the audience. It was a crushing blow to his morale, leaving him questioning his career choice. Terry seriously considered giving up on his dream and pursuing a different path. But his family rallied around him, encouraging him to keep going and not to lose hope. Inspired by their support, Terry decided to revamp his act. He expanded his routines to include a combination of singing, ventriloquism, and comedy. He also began incorporating impressions of famous singers like Garth Brooks, Etta James, James Taylor, and Dean Martin. This new approach added depth and variety to his shows, making them more engaging and entertaining for audiences. Despite these efforts, Terry remained skeptical about his chances of success in the highly competitive world of entertainment. In his late 30s, he confessed, "It wasn't easy trying to keep going all these years. And by the time I was in my late 30s, I wasn't sure it was ever going to happen." But Terry's perseverance and unwavering belief in his talent eventually paid off. He continued to hone his skills, performing at various venues and gradually building a loyal following. The year 2005 marked a turning point in Terry Fator's career. While performing Friends in low places, he made a bold decision to incorporate impressions into his act. This proved to be a game changer. The audience loved it, and their enthusiastic response boosted Terry's confidence. Seeing the impact of this new element, Terry revamped his entire routine. This transformation breathed new life into Terry's performances, and his career began to gain momentum. His newfound success opened doors to exciting opportunities. He was invited to perform at corporate functions for major cities and companies like General Motors and AGT. But that was just the beginning. Terry's rising star caught the attention of some big names in the music industry. He was asked to open for renowned artists like Reba McEntire, Garth Brooks, Neil McCoy, and Styx. This was a major milestone for Terry as it allowed him to share the stage with some of his idols and expose his unique act to a broader fan base. Life-changing moment. The year 2007 brought a life-changing opportunity for Terry Fator. On June 19th, he stepped onto the national stage for the first time, appearing on America's Got Talent. It was a surreal experience for Terry, who never imagined he would win. The show? Not in my wildest dreams, he admitted. His initial motivation for auditioning was simply to follow in the footsteps of a previous ventriloquist contestant who had secured a spot on The Late Show with David Letterman. Terry figured he'd do a few episodes, then land his own appearance on the show. But fate had a different plan in store for Terry. He not only made it onto America's Got Talent, but he went on to win the entire competition. His unique blend of ventriloquism, comedy, and impressions captivated both the judges and the audience, propelling him to national fame. Winning the show was a dream come true, but it also brought unexpected challenges. Terry's schedule quickly became packed with appearances, interviews, and performances. In a twist of irony, he had to decline the coveted Late Show with David Letterman gig 14 times before his schedule finally cleared up. My schedule got so packed, and it broke my heart every time I had to turn him down. Terry shared that Terry Fator's first appearance on America's Got Talent was met with a mix of anticipation and apprehension. As he walked onto the stage, Judge David Hasselhoff's words, "Oh no," a ventriloquist echoed through the theater. It was a moment of doubt for Terry, who instantly thought, "There's no way I would win." He gave himself zero chance of success. The judges, Piers Morgan, Sharon Osbourne, and David Hasselhoff held the power to make or break his dreams. Terry's nerves were on edge, but he knew he had to give it his all. As he began his performance, a transformation took place. The judges who had initially seemed skeptical were quickly won over by Terry's unique talent. Piers Morgan, known for his sharp critiques, was full of praise. He declared, "You're a great impersonator, a great singer, and a great comedian." Sharon Osbourne, with her warm personality, couldn't help but smile as Terry's puppets and impressions brought laughter and joy to the audience. Even David Hasselhoff, who had initially expressed doubt, was now a fan. But the ultimate validation came from Simon Cowell, the notoriously tough judge. Cowell, known for his blunt honesty, surprised everyone by stating that Terry was one of the top 2 entertainers on the planet. This was a monumental compliment, as Cowell rarely showered contestants with such high praise. Getting a compliment from Simon Cowell? Well, not many people get a compliment like that. Terry reflected. Stardom beyond America's Got Talent. Terry Fator's victory on America's Got Talent opened a new chapter in his life. The show announced that as part of his win, he would be performing at the Jubilee Theater at Bally's Las Vegas. However, there was a catch. The time slots offered were only 15 minutes long, which Terry and his management team felt didn't do justice to his act. After careful consideration and discussions with Bally's, they mutually agreed to drop the plan. Despite this setback, Terry continued to perform and connect with his fans. In April 2007, he graced the stage at Christian singer Larry Norman's 60th birthday party. He later returned the favor by flying Larry to tapings of America's Got Talent, and even inviting him as an honored guest. In 2008 to May 2008, this was a major breakthrough for Terry as it marked his official entry into the world of Las Vegas entertainment. Beyond his professional success, Terry also found time to give back to the community. In 2007, he became an official supporter of Ronald McDonald House Charities and joined their celebrity board, known as the Friends of RMHC. This philanthropic endeavor allowed Terry to use his platform for good and make a positive impact on the lives of others. On March 17, 2008, Fator appeared on the Oprah Winfrey Show along with American Idol judge and AGT creator and executive producer Simon Cowell. Oprah was amazed when Cowell called Terry one of the two most talented people on the planet. During the show, Terry brought out three of his puppets: Walter T. Airedale, Winston, the impersonating turtle, and Julius. Walter sang a Garth Brooks song, Winston sang a Bee Gees song, and Julius sang a Marvin Gaye song. Loved Julius so much that she fell out of her chair laughing when he started singing. Terry's success continued to grow, and on May 13, 2008, he signed a big deal with the Mirage in Las Vegas. The deal was for $100 million over 5 years, making it one of the biggest entertainment deals in Las Vegas history. Terry replaced Danny Gans as the headliner, and the theater was renamed the Terry Fator Theater. This was a huge accomplishment for Terry, and it showed just how far he had come since his days of performing at small venues. In 2009, Terry Fator another accomplishment to his growing list of achievements. He published his autobiography titled, Who's the Dummy Now? This book offered a glimpse into his life from his childhood in Dallas to his meteoric rise to fame. But Terry wasn't one to rest on his laurels. On September 10, 2008, he returned to America's Got Talent as a guest performer for their Top 20 Results show. This time he brought back a larger version of Winston, the impersonating turtle, who serenaded the audience with Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On. He also introduced another puppet, Maynard Tompkins, who sang Viva Las Vegas. Terry's creativity didn't stop there. He continued to refine and reshape his puppets, ensuring they remained fresh and engaging. In an August 1, 2008 interview on ABC News Now, he showcased a redesigned Emma Taylor who performed a soulful rendition of At Last. This constant evolution of his characters demonstrated Terry's dedication to his craft. Throughout his career, Terry has faced the challenge of being taken seriously as a ventriloquist. He acknowledges that there have been few truly successful ventriloquists who have achieved widespread respect. He cites icons like Edgar Bergen and Paul Winchell, who thrived in the 1940s and 1960s, and also mentions Willie Tyler and Jay Johnson, whom he admired in the 1970s. However, Terry also recognizes the negative stereotypes associated with ventriloquism over the years. There have been so many bad ventriloquists, and most of them doing corny shows for children, that people began to think of us as a bad joke. He laments that Terry Fator's connection with America's Got Talent continued to deepen over the years. On September 14, 2011, he was invited back to perform as a guest during the finals. This time he brought along Julius, the beloved soul singer, who captivated the audience with his rendition of Ain't No Sunshine. In 2013, Terry's talents extended beyond the stage and into the world of animation. He lent his voice to a character on the Disney Channel show Mickey Mouse, showcasing his versatility as a performer. The same year, he celebrated a major milestone by performing his 1,000th show at the Mirage Hotel and Casino. To mark the occasion, he returned to America's Got Talent as a guest performer during the Top 12 Results show on September 11th. Terry's appearances on AGT weren't limited to just performing. He also showed his support for fellow ventriloquists competing on the show. On September 16, 2015, he shared the stage with the eventual 10th season winner, Paul Zerdin. Similarly, on September 20, 2017, he performed alongside Darcy Lynn, another talented singing ventriloquist who went on to win the 12th season. In 2022, Terry took a surprising turn by entering the competition himself during a GT 17th season. Although he didn't make it to the finals, he continued to champion the art of ventriloquism by performing with Honor Maria Margolis, another talented singing ventriloquist. On September 27th, despite his continued success and numerous appearances on America's Got Talent, Terry's residency at the Mirage in Las Vegas came to an end in July 2020 after an impressive 11-year run. This marked the end of an era for Terry. But meanwhile, all this success, there were a few ups and downs happening in his personal life, marriage drama. He was married to Melinda Fator, whom he eloped with in Denver on January 8, 1991. The couple did not have any children. However, the pressures of fame and the demands of Terry's career began to take a toll on their relationship. In February 2010, Melinda filed for divorce in Texas following their separation in January. Despite the impending divorce, Melinda made a public appearance with Terry on the red carpet in March when his show opened at the Mirage. This led to speculation and questions about the state of their marriage. In his initial statement, Terry attributed the divorce to personal matters and differences they were unable to resolve. He emphasized that the decision was mutual and that there was no animosity between them. However, 2 years later, Terry revised his statement, revealing a deeper truth. The issues that were happening in my first marriage were happening for years before, he confessed. I mistakenly thought success would fix those issues, and it made them even worse. Melinda had been portrayed as the rock who stood by Terry. However, Terry's own account of the situation painted a different picture. He claimed that Melinda was a controlling and manipulative partner who isolated him from his family and refused to have children. He stated that he remained married for many years due to his Christian upbringing, which discouraged divorce. But with his newfound success, he felt empowered to finally break free from what he perceived as an unhealthy relationship. He claimed that she exerted significant control over his life, even extending to his autobiography, Who's the Dummy Now? Terry alleged that Melinda insisted on editing the book, demanding more credit for her contributions and becoming angry when he didn't comply. When you're stuck in a marriage, I was like, well, I might as well make this look good because I'm unhappy, but I'm stuck, he explained. However, Melinda Fator vehemently denied these accusations. She insisted that her involvement in editing the book was limited to correcting grammar and spelling errors. She also refuted Terry's claims about their disagreements over having children, stating that such arguments never happened. Melinda expressed surprise at Terry's sudden discontent, claiming she was unaware of his unhappiness until he demanded a separation. He's playing the victim card, and that's not right, she asserted. He is trying to play off all of his decisions on everyone else and try to not take responsibility for anything. Melinda's response painted a different picture of their relationship. Terry Fator admits to some responsibility for the situation, but only for allowing it to happen. He felt controlled not only by Melinda, but also by his career handlers who dictated the content of his shows after his America's Got Talent win in 2007. Terry confessed to being too big of a wimp to stand up for himself during this time. He claimed his handlers pressured him to incorporate more risk humor into his act, even pushing him towards divisive political jokes in an attempt to be edgy. While Terry didn't name names, he did part ways with his post-AGT manager John McEnany in 2009 and settled a legal dispute with him last fall. Interestingly, there seems to be a contradiction in Terry's account. He alleges that his handlers simultaneously encouraged him to embrace a more provocative style while also cautioning. Behind these events remains elusive. Especially considering Melinda's cryptic response to the accusations, she stated, "Knows the truth, I know the truth. He knows I know the truth, so whatever he chooses to put out there is his business. I've never badmouthed him in the press. I will not badmouth him in the press." Her words leave much to interpretation, suggesting that there's more to the story than either party has revealed publicly. Following his divorce from Melinda, Terry Fator's personal life took another significant turn. In 2008, while his show was still at the Las Vegas Hilton, a young woman named Taylor McCoy auditioned and joined the cast as an onstage assistant. Their relationship blossomed, and in November 2010, they were married in Hawaii. However, whirlwind romance eventually fizzled out. In 2015, Terry and Taylor announced their separation, emphasizing that it was a mutual decision and they remained close friends. Interestingly, they're professional.